Up to now, we've been talking about moles and how it relates to atoms. It's now time to look at how moles relates to compounds. So we're going to look today at molar mass. It's more of a general, instead of just saying atomic mass, we're going to say something more general, molar mass. So that means the mass of anything that has a quantity of 1 mole. In this case, let's look at the molar mass of carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is comprised of a carbon plus 2 oxygens. So I'm going to write that. I'm going to say 1 carbon, 1 C, plus 2 oxygens. Now how do we get that? Well, we look at the chemical formula of it. There's 1 carbon, and there's a subscript 2 next to the oxygen. So that's how we know that there's 2 oxygens and 1 carbon. So let's go ahead and do the molar mass of this. So I'm going to take the mass of 1 carbon. We'll take 12.0. We'll just keep it out to the 10th place today. Plus 2 times 16.0 for oxygen. Well, that is 12.0 plus 32.0, which equals 44.0 grams. And that's how we do a molar mass of a compound. Again, remember, molar mass is just a more general term to represent the mass of anything that's 1 mole in quantity. Let's try a couple more compounds. Determine the molar mass of sodium sulfate. Now this is comprised of 2 sodium atoms and 1 sulfate. Now the sulfate's your polyatomic ion. But that's comprised of 1 sulfur, and let's see, 1, 2, it's all the way to 4, right there, 4 oxygens. So let's write that out. We have 2 sodiums plus 1 sulfur plus 4 oxygens. So what should that look like? Well, if we go down here, here's sodium. We can round that to 23.0. So we have 2 times 23.0 plus 1 times, well, round that to 32.1 plus 4 times our oxygen, which we're writing as 16.0. And what should that equal? Well, let's see. 2 times 23 is 46.0 plus 32.1 plus 64.0. And that'll equal 142.1 grams. So that's the molar mass of sodium sulfate. Let's try one more example. Determine the molar mass of calcium phosphate. Now, this will be a little bit trickier because I see I've got 3 calciums and then I have something in parentheses with the 2 outside. So this one's more challenging because we need to figure out the total number of atoms on this. It's not so easy. Let's start with the calcium. I see calcium with the 3 outside. So I know that is 3 calciums. I got to think mathematics. This 2 outside means distribute the 2 inside for everything. So inside I've got 1 phosphorus, and I see a 2 outside. So I'm going to distribute that. That means I have 2 phosphorus atoms. So I write 2 phosphorus. Now let's distribute the 2 with the 4 there. So that's 2 times 4. So that means I've got 8 oxygen atoms. So let's go ahead and add all this up. So I'm going to do 3 times calcium. Well, calcium down here is, I'll make it 40.1. So 3 times 40.1 plus 2 times my phosphorus, which is 30.97. I'll round that to 31.0. Plus, well, we know oxygen is 16, so 8 times 16.0. All right, so what does that get us? Well, 3 times 40.1 is 120.3 plus 2 times 31, which is 62.0, plus 8 times 16, which is 128.0. And we add all that up to get 310.3 grams. And that's the molar mass of calcium phosphate. So that's how you deal with molar masses in compounds. Similar to just atomic mass, but you just have to add them all up in the compound.